Hi everyone, this is Drew Lamar from Cubes and BioQuest. There was a question in the information booth, I believe it was this morning, about if suppose you are an author of one of the posters, and you had a question about whether or not, how do you make sure you're receiving notifications of comments to your resource? One thing that I would say is the following. If you've never gone to where I'm about to show you, the settings area for your notifications, then you should be set to receive emails if anybody makes a comment on your poster resource. So if you, and again, just to make sure everyone knows what I'm talking about, by making a comment, I mean, let me look for the, see if I can find the posters and beyond. So let's say I go to one of these. I'll just click the very first one. Let's go to this one actually, because this one actually I think does have a comment. You'll see in the upper right. So if this is what when you publish your poster, or your poster has been published to Cubes, this is what it should look like. And then in the upper right, you'll see these comments here as well. This little tab here says comments. If you click it, this is where you will see the comments, right? So anybody can post a comment to your resource if they would like to. And so basic idea is, if you are an author of that resource, like up here, you should be sent a notification once somebody makes a comment to that resource. Also, even if you're not an author, but if someone replies to your resource, right? So if I put a reply here and I said post, Olivia, if she has her notifications set to receive this information, should receive a notification that I have responded to her comment. So both authors as well as whoever you're replying to should receive a notification. Okay, so given that, I'll repeat what I said earlier. If you have not made any changes to the settings or notifications that you receive for Cubes from the place that I'm about to show you, then you should be set to receive these notifications via your email. Okay, so one thing that I would like to let you know is what these emails look like. So when you do receive an email from the hub, it should look something like this. In particular, if you receive one as a comment to a publication or resource, it'll have the top that'll say Cubes comments, and then it'll have the title of the resource, and then it'll have, again, the title of the resource here, who made the comment, as well as the comment itself, and then this link will take you to that comment. So if I click on it, it will go directly to where I was before in that example I showed you, where that comment was. Okay, and again, I have that email because I'm one of the authors here of this resource. Okay, so the first thing that I would make sure is that if you know that your resource has comments and you did not receive an email, and you know you have not made changes to your settings, you can check your junk mail. Okay, so we all have junk mail boxes. In particular, these type of emails get sent from the address support@QUBESHub.org. So if you do find it in your junk mail, what you can do is if you add support@QUBESHub.org as a contact or to your addresses, your trusted addresses, then it hopefully will stop sending these notifications from the hub to your junk mail. So that's the first thing, one of the first things I would check. Okay, so if you've done that, if you've looked in your junk mail, it's not there, and you don't know where it was, but you know you should be receiving it, then let me show you where you can go to check your settings. Now, again, one more time, if you've never changed these settings, where I'm about to show you, you should be receiving them. Okay, so, and if you're not, let us know. And one of the easiest ways to let us know is through either the information booth forum in the community, on the Biome community, or you can just click on help in the upper right and then write a message here, and I'll be one of the people that receives that message, and then I can work with you directly to figure out what's going on. Okay, so given that, this is actually a good thing to know for those of you that would like to fine-tune your notifications for all hub things that you get. Okay, before I show you that, one more thing I want to do before I show you that, it's a little bit confusing. But when I say notifications, I don't necessarily mean the forum post notifications that you're getting. That is, you set that differently and independently on a per group basis here. Change your settings. So this is a different area where you would be changing your settings for notifications than what I'm about to show you. What I'm about to show you is a much more global hub-wide place where you can change your settings for receiving emails and things like that. Okay, but again, this is different because this is a per group basis. So if you join another community on the hub and you wanted to change your settings for emails for the forums, you would go to the forum and then change it here as well. Okay, finally, let me show you where to go. Okay, so make sure you're logged in first of all. So I know I'm logged in because my icon's in the upper right. And you can go to, if you click on it, you can go to either your profile or your dashboard. Either one will work. I'll go ahead and go to the profile. And then in the left, you'll see a bunch of things here. You can click on messages. So the messages area is where you will receive, one place where you might be able to receive notifications. So one thing you should know for the hub is that we have, the hub has its own built-in inbox for messages and notifications. And so as you can see here, I have very few in here, only 4. But you might have some in here as well. So the area that you want to go, if you wanted to, again, to double check or change your settings, is in the settings area, the settings tab over here. So this is where it gets a little bit confusing. This is something that user experiencing that we're going to change in the future. But for right now, this is the weirdness of it. If you've never made changes to your settings, on the right, you'll see all these checkboxes. What you'll see in the first column is email. So you check this if you would like to receive email notifications. And this other column called inbox, you check this if you'd like to receive it in your inbox. By the way, most of mine are empty, which is why I don't have very many things in my inbox. Okay. But if you've never made any changes, these will all be unchecked. But that's false, because they really should be all checked. In other words, by default, if you never make any changes, you are set to receive all notifications via your email and your inbox. Okay. The problem is that the minute you make a change, if you turn one of these things on and do save settings, then it reads every unchecked box as if you're saying, I do not want to receive notifications. Okay. So the problem here is that if you do want to make fine-tuned changes to the notifications on the hub, make sure you check everything that you would like to receive notifications for before you click Save Settings. Okay, I'm going to show you first of all the one that addresses the question that came up in the information booth this morning, and then I'll show you some other ones that might be good for you to keep checked as well, to make sure you don't lose any communications. Okay, so to address the question that came up this morning about making sure you receive posts to your comments to your resources, go to the publications area right here. And there's only one thing here. It says someone adds a comment to one of my contributions or replies to my comment. I would suggest you go ahead and click on the email checkbox. Make sure that that's checked. And then if you want to keep an archive, a lot of times using the inbox is great if you want to keep an archive of your messages, then I would check that too. Okay. Usually if you just want to play it safe, I would do both. Okay. So if you do this and then you click Save Settings, that will make sure that you are receiving comments to your email when someone comments on your poster publication. Okay. But again, I want to reiterate one more time. By default, if you've never been to this area of the hub, okay, you will by default, you should be receiving those emails. Okay. So again, if that's the case, contact me. All right. And then we'll see, again, through help is probably the easiest thing to do, or through the information booth. And then I'll see if I can get it fixed. Some other areas that might be good for you to have checked. Under members, if there's ever a fellow site member that decides to contact you, if you've made your email or yourself open to receive messages on the hub, then you're going to want to make sure that these are checked as well so that you get notifications when someone wants to talk to you. Let's see, that's one. Projects is good too. We haven't used, you may or may not have used projects, but if you start using projects, this will be an important one to go through. As you can see here, I have received notifications about projects you monitor as an admin or reviewer. So if you ever create a project, this is an important thing to make sure you receive notifications on. or any administrative messages. One thing I will say is that if you start using projects, again, to be more confusing, there's a way to fine-tune the notifications that you receive from that project from within that project, kind of like with groups, right? So in other words, every single project has its own individual notification settings that you can fine-tune and control. So you want to think of this particular area, the settings for notifications, as a global, hub-wide, non-sub-community area where you can fine-tune the messages that you receive. Some other ones, support. If you ever use a support ticket system, it's really important that you make sure you receive emails whenever I, for example, reply or someone replies to your issues. All these other ones, let me see, groups. There's a couple in here that would be good. In particular, messages from fellow group members. This is a really important one. So you can, if you want to make sure you're receiving messages from anybody in this group that you're in, for example, in the Biome Institute, make sure you have this clicked. Again, one or both of these clicked or checked. And I think those are pretty much the main ones that for now you want to make sure you have notifications set for, okay? I mentioned that members from fellow group members, you can talk to each other through that. Let me go ahead and show you that really quickly so that you can see, in case you wanted to discuss something privately with a fellow member of the hub. So I think you might have access to the members, you may or may not. But if you go to the community, as we said, you can see a collection of all these cards. If you have access to this, I'm not entirely sure if you do, but there's also a members area that should have kind of a repeat a little bit with less information of those cards. And what you'll notice is that there's a place where you can send a message to a particular person, okay? So if you click that, you can type in a message and send it to them. So if I click on here, say I want to talk to Justin, you can give a subject, you can give a message. If you send that, then they will receive a message, okay? But you've got to make sure that that previous setting was set to email and or inbox if you want to make sure you receive those messages, those notifications. Okay, so recap, that was a lot. The question was, if you're a poster, if you have a poster, you're an author of a poster, and so again, what I mean by that is one of these is yours, okay? So one of these posters is yours. You are an author on that, okay? And you want to make sure that you're receiving notifications when someone makes a comment to your poster, okay? And again, the comments, if you click into one of these, are located here, okay? You can also get to it over here, right? So if someone makes a comment, how do you make sure you receive a notification if you're one of these authors? Number one, if you've never gone to that area I showed you before, or the global settings for notifications, you should, by default, be getting email notifications of comments to your resources. So you should already be set. Okay, and if you haven't, again, like I said, please check the junk mail of your mail system, of your mail software that you use, and let me know if you're still not receiving it. If you have made any changes to that global settings area in the past, right, for global notifications, then you're going to want to go back there and make sure that you have the following one checked. So I'm going to go there now again, go to messages, click on settings, and then the one that you want to make sure is checked is under publications. Someone adds a comment to one of my contributions or replies to my comment, check and or check, okay? And then make sure you click that shiny green save settings button, or all that hard checking work will not be saved, okay? Okay, I hope that helps. Apologies for the confusion with the current interface. Like I said, if you have any other questions or any other concerns, or if things are still not working for you, either leave a message in this following this post that I'm going to put up, or again, you can go to the help and just start typing away in the message area and click submit, and I will be one of the ones that receives those messages. Okay, thanks, and looking forward to seeing you all around for the rest of the workshop. Bye.